This program is presented by International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
Thank you for tuning into Business and Beyond. For the continuation of our market discussion series, we go next to Korea, a major trading partner of the Philippines and ASEAN. Meanwhile, for our key and emerging product sectors, we feature a million-dollar corporation who is aggressively into the food supply chain in the chemical sector.
Rising from the Yolanda disaster more than 3 years ago, this airy homey restaurant in a 14-hectare property featured in our MSME segment served not only good native food but also the late Tenos warm hospitality. This comes after some industry news last week.
With the impending release of a department order which will put an end to ENDO, or End of Contract and Labor-Only Contracting by Department of Labor and Employment, a meeting was convened among various industry groups to discuss the implications of the new policy issuance, which is seen to supersede Department Order No. 18A. Donald D., President of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines, explained that subcontracting will no longer be allowed, a system where a contractor farms out part of a job to a smaller company with a separate set of workers. Contractualization remains a point of contention between workers and employers, which have long debated the issue in DOLE's Technical Executive Committee. Labor is insisting on the total abolition of contractualization, which employers are invoking the allowable forms of contractual arrangements under existing laws. Meanwhile, ECOP has proposed a middle ground that will ensure the protection of workers as well as the economy. This was later unsupported by DOLE. The government aims to create more growth opportunities in the industry and services sectors as part of its new 6-year medium-term development plan, according to the National Economic and Development Authority. This goal is part of the proposed Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022, and the draft is open for comments and can be downloaded from NEDA's website, www.neda.gov.ph. The plan anchored on Ambition Natin 2040, which represents the collective long-term vision and aspirations of the Filipino people for themselves and for the country for the next 25 years, is divided into 7 parts, including an overview of prospects and the framework of the plan. The other parts focus on these topics: enhancing the social fabric, reducing inequality in economic development opportunities. The other parts focus on these topics: enhancing the social fabric, reducing inequality in economic development opportunities, increasing potential growth, enabling and supportive economic environment, foundations for inclusive and sustainable development, and plans moving forward. In particular, Chapter 9 seeks to expand economic opportunities in industry largely by increasing the access of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and cooperatives to industry and services. According to the draft, manufacturing and construction are the growth drivers of industry, growing at an average rate of 7.8% and 9.8%. respectively from 2013 to 2016. Growth in services, meanwhile, averaged 6.6% from 2013 to 2015 and 7.6% from the first to the third quarter of 2016. The plan, however, notes hurdles to a more competitive industry and services sectors, one of which is the lack of adequate and reliable infrastructure, including roads, ports, and bridges. Moreover, there is a mismatch in the technical and practical skills of the labor force, while limitations on foreign investments and participation affect efforts to attract foreign investments to the country.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
Korea is looking at expanding its market presence in the Philippines, especially in the southern part. Leading the aggressive campaign is the Korean Chamber of Commerce. We want to learn more about what they want, especially in pushing trade and investments in the country and between the two countries. To give us these updates, we have the President of the Chamber, Mr. Ho Lee. How would you assess the economic relations between the Philippines and South Korea? And if at all, where does the Philippines fall in the global economic interest of South Korea?
Korea believe Philippines is one of the fast-growing countries among the Asians. The data can show more than 7% increasing economic growth, and it's actually higher than China. So now we believe Philippines is one of the most emerging country all over the world. So more Korean investors want to setting up the business here in the Philippines.
How big is the chamber? How many Korean companies are in the Philippines?
Korean Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines is established in 1995, and we start as 20 members in 1995. But as of today, we have almost 500 members. We call it corporate members, which is invested from Korea, such like Samsung Electronics and LG Electronics and KEPCO, Korea Electric Power Corporation, and Hanjin Shipbuilding, something like that. And then we also have associate members. Associate member means Filipino company, like San Miguel, PLDT, BDO. We have a bilateral organization, non-profit organization doing business in Philippines.
What specific fields of interest are they in?
The companies, the investors from Korea is actually the variety field they are interested in, such like Hanjin Shipbuilding, because the shipbuilding industry is Korea is kind of decreasing. We also have other companies like Samsung Electronics and yes, semiconductor. If we have Phoenix. By the way, we also have energy part like KEPCO, and then infrastructure, like dairy and Hanjin, construction companies we also have.
Now, other than the Korean Chamber, there is also the ASEAN Trade Center.
As far as I know, ASEAN Trade Center was established about 10 years ago to foster business economic relationship with Korea and ASEAN countries. In Korean side, we must focus on the ASEAN countries, which is very growing fast and the emerging market.
Your members, I mentioned earlier about the free trade agreement, the ASEAN-Korea free trade agreement. Are your members all in the eco zones or are they outside the zones?
This moment, more Koreans want to invest in the local business, non-eco zone.
Because the benefits of the FTA, the free trade agreement with ASEAN, will be felt more by those outside the zone, because initially it's the tariff, it's the reduction or the elimination of tariffs. But so are there more of those selling to the domestic market rather than those in the eco zones, meaning those that are exporting?
Yes, eco zone means especially PESA or other BOI registered, the zone. There's a regulation, right? The 70% of the products must export it. But the out of eco zone means we really want to invest in here. We really want to be manufacturing and then localization. But one of the obstacles is, I think, the constitutional issue, like a 60-40 rules. Yes.
Now, in the last 1.5 years, there has been a marked global slowdown in demand. Now, Korea itself also suffered from the effects of this. And what do you think, what do you see are the short to long-term prospects of your economy?
Korea is actually it's matured economy. I think it's matured economy means we are very difficult to jump up to another stage. So means we have to change our economic paradigms, industry paradigms. We have to be changed, but we have to move. We have to shift this kind of industry to another stage. So which is very difficult. So that's why Korea economy want to be go abroad and to invest. And then if they need another higher technology, we have to joint venture with Japan or any other European, Western countries.
And as part of the closing statement, how do you do business with Korea? What are some tips for businessmen, for Filipino businessmen especially, on how to do good, successful business with Koreans?
Well, I normally tell the Filipino people like this. Korea was very poor, after Korean War, so 1950, 1953. Even until 1970s, Korea is much poorer than Philippines. But we catch up our economy very fast, and then we work very hard, and then we can say Korea is one of the best modeling country, fast growing in economic side. So now our personal GDP is almost 30,000 US dollar. Yes, I can say Philippines also same like you can see how Korea can move fast, and then this times another we have a very good relationship with Philippines and Korea, like labor cooperation. I heard almost 27,000 Filipino work in Korea, also. And then we have in tourism sector, we have a 1.4 Korean tourists come to Philippines.
So thank you, Mr. Lee, for sharing all these thoughts with us. All right. Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
International Container Terminal Services Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
In an industry that continues to reel from the effects of natural disasters, this conglomerate continues to stand out as it records profit after profit. Evolving from a mom-and-pop store to become the largest distributor and retailer of fertilizers, feeds, seeds, and veterinary medicines, this corporation is not done yet. Let's listen to the story to be shared by no less than the chairman and CEO of Kalata Corporation, Mr. Joseph Kalata. The agriculture sector is a major casualty of one disaster after another disaster, and yet your company continues to flourish. Where is the growth coming from, and do you think this is sustainable?
Sa business kasi namin, what we're selling is fertilizer, crop protection, and mga seeds. Yes, pag nagkaroon kasi ng calamity, yung mga farmer kasi, talagang sila yung apektado eh. The reason na ang company namin di naapektuhan is kasi nabili na nila sa amin yung fertilizer di ba?
Aging na yung mga farmers, walang new blood. Ano yung ginagawa ng company? Is there an advocacy or program that you're doing?
Meron kaming Kalata Foundation. Yung Kalata Foundation, ang ginagawa niya is we want to inspire young people to go into farming. So, pinapadala namin sa ibang bansa para mag-aral, para malaman yung latest technology, At the same time, makita nila na ang farmer sa ibang bansa is mayayaman. Dito lang naman sa Pilipinas, pag sinabi mong farmer, may stereotype na ang itsura nila. Kailangan madumi, nakasalakot. Pero sa ibang bansa naman, pag farmer ka, parang big time ka, di ba? Entrepreneur ka. 30 years time, alam mo, sa buong mundo, pag 9 billion na ang population natin, mas mahihirapan na ang Philippines kung nag-i-import tayo dahil kanya-kanya na sila ng food eh. According sa World Bank, di ba, 50% ng food production dapat i-increase natin by that time. Pag hindi nagawa, syempre magugutom yung kalahati.
How successful is the foundation?
Mas wala yung foundation namin, binid lang namin yan this year lang eh. Now, nag-tie up kami sa Lasal, yung sa Ligneta, isa siyang school nila sa Del Monte. Doon namin kukunin yung mga bata para padala sa ibang country. So, we also have a tie-up with the Israel government. Ngayon, may mga project kaming greenhouse. Itong mga scholars na to, umuwi dito, sila yung mag-handle ng mga greenhouse na ngayon.
And sir, si Secretary Piñol very bullish ha. Sabi niya 5% growth next year from 1% in 2015. Saan palagay niyo sir manggagaling yung growth na yon? Palagi namang may bagyo and then mababa naman ang productivity ng agriculture.
Tingin ko talaga yung modern technology eh. Meron nga kaming isang mobile app para sa farmers, pangalan niya Crops. Ang isang farmer, pwede niyang ilagay ang produkto niya doon. Ngayon, kung isa kang restaurant, naghahanap ka ng tomato, click mo lang tomato, search for seller, lalabas lahat ng tomato grower na malapit sa'yo. And also, pwede mo nang bilhin at pag binili mo, kagandahan doon, hindi kaagad siya. For example, isang farmer, nagtatanim ka pa lang, maliit pa lang yan, gusto mo nang bilhin. Is there a way na mabibili mo, marireserve mo? Wala, di ba? Itong app is a way para ma-reserve mo na siya.
How are we? Where is the Philippines in terms of the products that you import, no? Do we not have fertilizers, seeds? Why are we importing?
Ang fertilizer galing sa isang mga Middle East country, mga kasi yan byproduct yun ng mga oil byproduct ng oil. So, dito wala talaga tayo masyado dito nun. So, talagang imported talaga yun. May mga partner din kami, like sa Japan. Kaming partner dyan, pangalan niya, Marubeni. Marubeni is one of the biggest company sa Japan.
You're the dominant player in the country?
Hindi ko masasabing dominant. Alam mo kasi, ang daming players din naman. Siguro, isa lang kami, o dalawa lang kaming listed na agriculture. Out of 250 companies. You can say siguro sa ibang product, nag-dominate kami. Pero sa iba.
So what products are you dominating?
I mean, malakas kami sa mga agrochemicals and fertilizer. Ganyan.
So, ano yung prospect of this sector, no? Of this, for example, your company exporting it, or the Philippines growing it, manufacturing the products here because of that opportunity?
Masyadong competitive ang agrochemicals business eh. Talagang kung i-export mo siya, hindi siya viable eh.
Talagang yung success of the company also rests in strengthening the agriculture, local agriculture sector.
Kaya nga sabi ko, kailangan talaga magtuloy yung mga young people na mag-farm. Kasi kung hindi, wala rin bibentahan, wala rin gagamit nun, di ba? Wala rin gagamit.
Yung chemicals, fertilizers, no? You know the trend going organics and natural. Are you threatened?
Hindi naman, actually, kasi yung mga seeds naman na organic, pwede rin naman galing din sa amin. If you do organic, okay yun. It's an option. Pero to feed the whole world at sa organic, mahihirapan din. Dahil ngayon pa lang challenge na yan eh. So, lalo na kung hindi ka pa mag-i-innovate to increase yield. Alam naman natin na organic, mahirap siyang mag-double kasi usually walang fertilizer masyado, alam mo yan, normal. So, parang hindi naman siya threat. Saka yung mga chemicals naman na ginagamit kasi sa green label. Bawal na kasi yung mga red label eh.
Sino yung competitors natin dito sa area na to? Product?
Actually, yung neighboring country din natin, yung Vietnam, yung Haya, yun ang competitor natin.
So, as a concluding statement, if you have one message for government, what will it be?
Nakikita ko kasi talagang magandang ginagawa nila eh. Continue lang yun. Wag lang mawala yung momentum. And also, siguro, programs para sa mga bata, para magtuloy sa farming. So, sa company namin, in a small way, siguro naman, di ba, nakakatulong kami, kahit in a small way. Importante magawa namin yun. Parang iba, gumayo din.
Ikaw ang model, Joseph. So, pag nakita nila ikaw, mai-inspire sila.
Ayan, sige. Sana ma-inspire sila sa, sa buhok ko.
Alright, thank you very much for joining us, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you.
Business and Beyond will be back.
International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.
International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation. One of the treats we got from our trip to Leyte is a visit to a garden restaurant called Raphael's Farm. This airy, cozy, popular dining spot sits on a 14-hectare property in Babatngon, 30-minute drive from Tacloban. We approach the Bali-inspired restaurant, which is the highlight of the property. Guests have a choice of al fresco or indoor dining. The area also boasts of a neatly landscaped huge garden accentuated with a lake, huts, flowering and fruit-bearing trees, and mini wooden bridges. The menu offers favorite Philippine dishes that include kare-kare, sinigang na hipon, crispy pata, and the latest version of the coconut creamy laing, all of which we ordered and finished with gusto. The very refreshing fresh calamansi juice complements the meal, which ended with a delicious sweetened saging na sabaw with a touch of cinnamon and a special turon.
Pupunta po kayo dito sa Leyte, inibitahan ko po. Dito sa Barangay Pagsunogon, Babatngon Leyte, sa Raphael's Farm Restaurant. Dito po yung pinakasikat namin, Filipino food. Meron po kami krabig gata, spicy squid, baby back ribs, dagmaya sa ngayon. Praise kalaman sa Diyos po namin at maraming pang iba. Bukas po kami sa Tuesday hanggang Sunday po from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pangalaman kita, nga di Raphael's Farm, Babatngon Leyte.
On this note, we end this week's episode. We hope that you're able to get useful and relevant insights from the discussions.
Please join us again next week for the next topic. May we also invite you to share with us your views and suggestions in our social media accounts.
Remember, connections matter here at Business and Beyond.
This program was presented by International Container Terminal Services, Inc. Excellence Uncontained.
Kalata Corporation.